Today I'm gonna show you how I edit my color negative film. Basically, I'm gonna show you two ways how to do it. The first one is gonna be doing everything from the scratch, doing nothing by just messing with the tone curves. And the second one is using an external plugin for Lightroom called ColorLab Pro. I'm not getting a sponsor, I'm not getting paid by them, but that's actually the plugin that I've been using and I really like the results that I get. So without further to say, I'm just gonna jump in my computer. I'm gonna show you how those two perform and then I'm gonna actually tell you my conclusion, my opinion about them. So let's get in my computer. All right, so these are gonna be the two photographs that we're gonna be working with. So the first one, let me just put it here. The first thing that we need to actually do, this is for the process for actually doing everything from the scratch without any plugin. So the first thing that we need to do is select the white balance for this photograph. So we can click here for the white balance selector, or you can either is that, or you can press W on your keyboard. You click there and we select the white balance. The white balance has to be actually from the film itself. So that white over here is actually the color of your film. Try always, like, you have to have that in consideration before you scan it, if you're doing it through DSLR scan or you just actually got the results from your lab. Then we need to crop and we need to actually get rid of that white strip on the top or on the surroundings of the photograph. We can select here the crop icon, or you can tap R in your keyboard and then I'm just gonna crop the image and it's gonna be nothing but just the image itself. Click done. That's pretty much it. We're gonna need to scroll down to the tone curves and section. You're gonna see the RGB. So if it's actually a positive, this line will be correct, but the problem is, like, since it is a negative, all the information is actually inverted. So for example, with black and white, it's as simple as just like bring the blacks up and the whites down, and that will be it. But the problem is that, as you can see, is like it doesn't look okay. It looks horrible. So we're gonna put everything how it was before, and this RGB line we're gonna leave it how it is. And the thing what we're gonna need to actually do is we're gonna start actually messing on each different channel for the different colors. So that's we're gonna do like the inversion on the reds, greens, and blues. I'm gonna start with the red channel, and we're gonna bring this point where the graphic is actually starting from. So you're gonna see this info. This is all the information that we have on the greens. So we're gonna bring this point over here and we're gonna bring it up and we're gonna move it where that graphic is actually starting from. And then we're gonna select the other point and we're gonna bring it down and we're gonna put it where it actually ends at. There you go. We're gonna go to the other channels. In this case, it's gonna be the green channel. And we're gonna do the same thing. We are gonna bring it up, just move it to the right. And this one, we're gonna bring it down and we're gonna finish it right here. And the last one is gonna be the blues. So bring it up. And this one, we're gonna bring it down. And there you go. It looks way better as I just like modifying the whole entire RGB curve. But the thing here is, it's not okay. It's still, we need to still do further adjustments. The next step right here is like I'm gonna go to the red and greens, because that's something I realized is the green and blues are quite similar. They are pretty much starting in the same point. So I want to make sure that actually, at least for the reds and greens, the line pretty much is exactly the same, because the reds are different than the green and blues. So I'm gonna go to the green, just gonna have this point in consideration, and the blue, since I don't have any information farther than this point, and on greens I do, so I'm gonna have the blue as a reference to actually make it start exactly where the blue ends. I mean, thinking we can move a little bit more to the right. Just right there. And there you go. So this line is perfect. They're the same. This dotted line over here that is pretty much intercepting our line, that's for the midtones. So we're gonna actually just drop one pin here in the midtones, exactly where the dotted line intercepts. We're gonna have one for highlights and shadows as well. We need to actually do an S-curve for our different graphics, for our different lines. So this one is gonna be the first one for the green, and we're gonna do pretty much the same thing for the blue. So we're gonna drop one point there for the midtones, highlights, shadows. We're gonna try to make it as an S-curve. There you go. And the last one is for the red. One point there where the midtones intersect, shadows, highlights. I'll just pick it up. There you go. Don't worry if he actually makes like it's gonna look your photograph looks a little bit weird. And the thing with this is like the different film stocks, they have different red color cast in the shadows and the highlights. So for example, for Kodak, that film stock makes like it has more red cast in the shadows and in the highlights. Instead, and unlike Fujifilm, that for example they have more green cast in the shadows and in the highlights. So in that case, we're gonna have to actually start doing like further adjustments. In this case, I'm actually using a Kodak film stock. I'm gonna have to actually pay attention on the red channel, and that's what I'm gonna do next. So for example, for this one in the red channel, I'm gonna bring another point here in the highlights and another one in the shadows. What I was actually doing the research and is trying to understand a little bit more, why do we actually need to do this S curve when we are doing the color conversion for our negative? It was really hard to actually find any like a specific or clear explanation, but that's just like saying like, yes, for film, this is the way that it actually works. And especially with doing color correction for your negatives is really, really hard. Even if you actually send it to your different labs, there is no such a thing like a perfect or 100% accurate color conversion for your negatives, because there are so many things that go actually in consideration. For example, if you send it to a lab and they actually scan it with a Frontier scanner, and another lab is gonna actually scan it with a Noritsu scanner, the results are gonna be way different. Plus, whoever is actually doing the color correction for your photographs in the lab, they are gonna actually start messing with the saturation and all the stuff, because they are gonna try to make that image as they think that how it was taken at that moment. And the only person that actually knows that is whoever actually took the photographs. So maybe if I actually send this photograph to a lab, he's gonna think it was way, I don't know, like so shiny or was so sunny or not, and then he's gonna try to actually make that photograph look like in the way that he thinks that it was. So all that we are doing here is just trying to have like a really good starting point, and then we can actually make further adjustments in messing with the raw file. So just like I'm gonna get back here with the greens. I feel like there are too much greens, so I'm gonna just lower it a little bit. This one as well. And the blue, I think blues are okay. Let me see the green, red here. I'm gonna just move a little bit. And as you can see, as I'm actually moving this point over here in the midtones, the image itself is giving me more, balanced colors, and it's warming up the whole entire photograph. So that's exactly what I wanted to do. And I'm just gonna leave it like that. I think that is great. This is a really good starting point. And what we can actually do next, because like we're gonna have like all this information here, but we cannot actually tweak it. I mean, we can tweak it, but the thing is like they are gonna behave in everything is inverted. So for example, here, this one is actually for the shadows instead of being the highlights, and the shadows are gonna be for the highlights. So, and also the way that it actually works in the photographs is still a little bit like weird. So what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna right click in the photo. We're gonna click here where it says edit in, and we're gonna select Photoshop. And the reason why I'm actually doing this is because I wanna create that raw file in TIFF, and then I can just treat it as a regular image. But before I do that, something that we can actually do here, that since we are in Photoshop already, is just we can actually sharpen this image a little bit. So we're gonna just Command J if you are actually on a Mac, or just duplicate this image. Go to Filter, Other, High Pass, 1.0. That's fine. We just need it to sharpen a little bit, and click OK. And then we go to the blend mode and just overlay. And what it's actually doing here with the high pass is just sharpen the image a little bit. I don't really want to make it that much because it's gonna look like, you overdo it. So for example, this is not with the high pass, and this is with the high pass. It's just a little like subtle change that we have made. And then we're gonna click here, live a file, save. Let's wait until you have saved it, and then we can go back to Lightroom. We're gonna see now that we have two photographs right here. So this one is the brand new file that we have, and this one we can actually just tweak it as a regular photo. So one of the things that I will do here is you can actually just click here on the white selector, and just like this one looks like it's the whitest point, so it seems like it's actually pretty okay. And one of the things I want to do is that, because it's bothering me a lot, is the saturation that we have on the greens. So we're gonna click here in saturation. We're gonna select one of the leaves, and I will bring that saturation back. Now I'm way happier. Yep, there you go. And also, I know that there is some kind of cast, like they shouldn't be that, clear, because the green is looking like it doesn't have any cast on the highlights. So I'm gonna click in the hue. I'm gonna click this button over here for the selector. Let me click again. I'm gonna try to warm it up a little bit, those greens. So I'm gonna turn them to yellow, like orangey. There you go. The good thing about this is just making the changes on the green, so it's not actually messing with any other color in the photograph. So as you can see, it's just looking way better. I don't want to overdo it, but I think that's just pretty much it. And this is a matter of like what you want to actually do with your photograph, or what's your style. For me, I'm always trying to pursue those kind of warm look and feel in the photographs. So that's just perfect for me. And just to do it just to leave it like this. So I'm not gonna actually make this video any longer. I'm just gonna leave like this photograph as it is right now. So this is for actually doing everything from the scratch. So I don't know how it has been, maybe like 15 minutes. That's just one photograph, and I haven't actually, if it's actually something that I'm really intended to post in Instagram or anything like that, or just to print it out. I will take a little bit further because I want to make sure that the photograph is as I want it. But just for the, you know, just for this video, I'm just gonna leave it how it is. And then I'm gonna make a right click here. I wanna create a virtual copy. But it's not in this one. Let me see if it's actually, no. I make the virtual copy on the one that we have converted. Right click, create virtual copy. And in this one, I want to show you how it works with ColorLab Pro. So this one is actually the plugin that is gonna actually do it everything that we just did way easier and faster. It's just one click away. So I'm gonna show you how to do it. So the first thing you need to actually, after you have installed the plugin, we're gonna do pretty much the same thing. We're gonna select the white balance, and then we're gonna crop it. Just click here on the crop selection and the crop icon, or R in your keyboard. We're gonna get rid of that white strip of the film, and that's pretty much it. And then we're gonna, the way that we actually trigger the ColorLab Pro tool is by pressing Control and N, and then it's gonna bring you this one. So let me actually just, I think I have actually, there you go, unconvert, because I have done it before. So when you click Control N, it's gonna show you this pop-up window over here. Don't really pay attention to this one. Like, this is if you actually do it like digital camera scan, and this is like trying to give you some kind of simulation of what scanner do you wanna simulate, if it's the Frontier or Noritsu. Always leave in Frontier. You're gonna get the best results with Frontier, at least in my personal opinion. And then you're gonna click on Convert Negatives. And then it's when the plugin is doing its magic. What it's doing is has like an algorithm that just analyzing the image and just making messing with the curves and so even a color profile as well. So as you guys can see, this is the result. It's like just one click away, and that's pretty much it. So if you actually tell me like which one do you prefer, like it's just a matter of, you know, like, oh, which one do you, I don't know, like, of course this one, the one on the left is actually the one that we did with the doing everything from the scratch, and this one is doing the ColorLab Pro. I mean, it's really good. It's really, really good. Of course, like in this one, I will make actually like further adjustments. I will actually, I see like there are too much like blue cast in the shadows here, so I would have actually just tried to fix that. But that will take me, I don't know, maybe another 5 more minutes. And if you have like 36 exposures, so that's gonna take you the whole entire day just trying to edit those photos. With this one, it's just one click away and you already have like a really good photographs. So that's pretty much it. I wanted to actually do this one, but I think it's gonna take too long the video. I'm just gonna try to do it really quick. Let me just put it here. And just right click, so you will select here. Basically, it's the same thing, just get rid of the white strip, and then we're gonna go to the curves. I'm gonna bring this red, and this one up, down. I'm just gonna try to do a little bit faster, guys, and this is just to show you it will work. Of course it works, like doing it every single time. I mean, it still is gonna take you some time. And then this one, there you go. Drop the pin in the midtones, shadows, highlights, bring it up, down, red, here, as I said before, we need to actually make an extra points for the reds. And this one in here. There you go. And the greens. Basically everything is about, like what's your taste. Right now, I know it's looking too contrasty. I don't really wanna actually like spend too much time on this video. It's getting too long. But the thing is, like, you can actually just like have exactly this image and having as your start. That's the good thing. Like, it's just giving you a way to have something to start with. I know if, for example, if I just do this and like trying to bring the shadows up, to bring up the shadows and just try to get rid of the highlights so it doesn't look like too exposed. With that, just by doing that, it's gonna give you a really good result. And then you just make a copy of this file and make it like a regular TIFF file, and then you can actually just start reducing saturation as well. If I reduce the saturation here already, it's gonna look way better anyway. There you go. And the contrast, and just get rid of the contrast a little bit. Sometimes even doing with the dehaze, it helps as well, but just don't overdo it too much. And that's pretty much it. And that's it, guys. This is pretty much what I wanted to show you in this video, that you still can convert your negatives into a positive without any tool. You can actually do it just by messing with the tone curves. I hope you guys find this video helpful. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.